This video will cover the three most widely used descriptive statistics in R. So we're going to cover the mode, the mean, and the median. The first thing to do is to load the data frame object that you're going to be working with. Like always, I'm going to be using the 2016 General Social Survey, and so I will just load that. And for this video, we'll also be using $ indexing to call specific variables. So starting with the mode. Annoyingly, R does not have a built-in function to calculate the mode for you. And so the easiest approach to dealing with that is to just use the table command. So if you might remember, table just gives you the frequency distribution for a variable. And from there, you can just look and see which value happens the most or which values happen the most, and pull your mode like that. So if I were to look at, say, the mode for marital status, I could just type in GSS, the name of my data frame object, $marital, and then I can run that. And from there, you can look through the different values and value labels. So we see married had 1,212 people, widowed 251, divorced 495, separated 102, and never married 806. And from there, obviously the mode is just going to be those that were married. So the mode works pretty well and pretty easily for categorical variables, so nominal or ordinal variables, and you can also use it for interval ratio variables too. It's a little bit more cumbersome to get through. So for example, if I wanted to look at the mode for educational attainment, which in the GSS is called EDUC, you could just run that table again. And you can see that, so there were 2 people in the GSS that had 0 years of education, 3 people that had 1 year of education, 3 people that had 2 years of education, and so on. And so really, just like before, you're looking for the most commonly occurring number, which in this case is 12, right? There are 824 people that had 12 years of education, which is just high school, right? So in this case, our mode would be 12 years of education. Turning now to the median, the command that we're going to use is just median. So median, open up parentheses, and then type the name of the variable that you want. So again, let's just use EDUC for education. And you'll see that when I run this, I'm going to get a missing value response, NA. The reason for that is the EDUC variable in the GSS has at least one missing value. And this will almost always be the case in survey data. And so what R is trying to force us to do is communicate to it clearly what we would like to do with our missing values before it will return the median for us. And even though there are much larger discussions that are much more complicated in terms of how to deal with missing data, for us, the easiest thing will just be to remove them. And in R, you do that by just typing na.rm equals true. So NA for missing.rm remove. So remove missing equals true, all uppercase. And now if I run this, you'll see that I get the median, which is 13. Last, we will cover the mean. And much like the median, all you need to do is type in the name of the command. So mean, open up parentheses, GSS $EDUC. And as before, you need to tell R how to deal with the missing, so I'll just remove them in this case. And then you just run your procedure. And you can see that the average amount of education in the GSS is 13.74 years. The only other thing that's really worth mentioning when you're dealing with these central tendency statistics is that the class of the variable has to be appropriate for the statistical procedure. So for example, if I tried to do the mean of marital, which is a factor, I'm going to get an error message, even if I appropriately deal with the missing values, right? So I'll just run this, and you'll see that it says, well, it's not a numeric or logical classed variable that you're passing to me, so I can't calculate that statistic for you. Otherwise, as long as the levels of measurement match the requirements for the procedure, then it's really quite straightforward to calculate central tendency using R.